Greetings once again to our viewing audience, and welcome to another special edition episode, 15th anniversary season of Meak Pro Media Special Edition News, of course, where we bring you the best in community news and happenings that's going on within the LGBTQ plus community, not just here in our local city, Atlanta, but also abroad. For more information about our previously syndicated broadcast shows, please check out all of the information located at the bottom of your screen. Of course, this is your host, founder and executive producer, Miko Evans. So glad to be back at you once again. And we're in a great season, 15 years of media. Can you believe it? And we always bring our special guests on our show. Also, don't forget to check out our new domain, of course, which is meakproductions.lgbt. Once again, that's MEAK as in kite, productions with an S.lgbt. All of that information should be located at the bottom of your screen. Without further delay, it's been a minute since we've had this special guest on our show. I think it's been 2 years. And we're proud to have returning back to our show, George Carlton, the president of the Metro Atlanta Association of Professionals, of course, formerly known as the Atlanta Executive Network, Atlanta's oldest LGBTQ plus business association here in the ATL, Georgia. So if we can get George unmuted, get him unmuted right quick. What's going on, baby?
Here now I'm unmuted. Well, hey there. It's a pleasure to be here with you. So any time spent with Miko is time well spent, they say, right?
Yes. How's it going with you?
Great. Pride is always an exciting time for all of us in Atlanta. And MAAP, as you mentioned, Metro Atlanta Association of Professionals has plenty of exciting stuff coming up in conjunction leading up to Pride and then after. So October is always a really fun time with us, and this is no exception.
Yeah, man. I mean, you all have been doing a whole lot this year. This year really brought a slew of events and everything. One in particular is a historic moment that you all had by combining one of your networking events with the Out Georgia Business Alliance, which was formerly known as the Atlanta Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce. So that was one of the highlights of the spring season. So tell us a little bit about how that all came about, because we was there live and on location, and we was there to document the entire historic moment. So kind of tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind you two coming together for the first time.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's always something that makes me feel really fulfilled personally. And I think it's something that benefits our community when organizations come together to serve the community at large. And what better way than for two of Atlanta's, certainly longest standing, but leading professional organizations to do that. So I think, of course, we've discussed and chatted about partnerships many times in the past with Out Georgia Business Alliance, but it was such a thrill to be able to come together with them, and they were great hosts of that event. Meak Productions has been a partner in bringing these two organizations closer together, which I think only benefits the community. I know I personally had a great time, but it is something that when people can see the connectedness within our community, and that there are not just pillars and striations within the community, but that we are connected with each other in Atlanta, it's a big deal. So that was a fun event, and also leverage of the talents of a couple of partners for both of our organizations, of course, Meak Productions, but also Bill Kalen Marketing.
Shout out to Bill.
Yeah, who's an amazing sponsor and partner. I mean, it's really closer than a sponsor relationship for Out Georgia and for MAAP. But it's just, I mean, I really enjoy when we get to see the folks that have consistently been pouring their hearts and sweat and tears and everything else into the community to see the folks come together. And it was a great event. Like, people had a really good time. It was kind of a loose, just kind of unstructured networking. We had some great drinks, which will always help, at a beautiful venue with great skyline views that evening. So it was a great one. And we have another one coming up where Out Georgia will be a big player. So it's sort of another partner event with Out Georgia MAAP, and featuring the connective tissue that is Meak Productions, right?
That's right. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in the second half of our show, but I really want people to see how far MAP has come because you started out with the organization to kind of remind people of your tenure with the organization. You started out volunteering just as a supporting member, and
Yeah.
then you actually was a part of the board. And what role did you play as a board member before you actually became elected as president?
So on the board, I was the marketing director with MAP. And I think that was in like 28, maybe 2017 to 2018, 19. So with that, we did a rebrand visually of MAP.
Hmm.
Now it's like really color blocked and I'm partial to it, but so I'm biased. But it's a cute layout and hopefully engaging, so kind of social first, creative, and all that kind of stuff. In my day job, MAP is an all volunteer organization. So my day job, I work in communications and advertising. So it's sort of it was a little pet passion project of mine. But yeah, I mean, MAP has been. I became a member of MAP, like I mentioned, probably in 2017, maybe 2016. But it's been hugely beneficial for me as sort of like a third space, essentially that you know people, I think a lot of folks probably take for granted who are straight or whatever it might be, but a community where it isn't dating focused, we'll say, or just drinking focused, but a professional space for people really, of course, it's all relationship driven, but people can connect and pour into each other. I mean, I've gotten a job from MAP before, and I know there are people that I've talked to, even from back when MAP was the Atlanta Executive Network, who have had amazing experiences and still call upon the contacts that they've met, even for that long ago. That's been probably, it has to be over 15 years probably. Most of those folks have met those people, so it's amazing to have that space and that community to enrich each other.
Awesome, awesome, man. You all, since your leadership, because I know it kind of was like a little slow, rough road because you actually came on board in the midst
Mhm.
of the pandemic. And because I think your official term started like in 2021, correct?
That's right, yeah, 2021.
Yeah, so there was like right in the midst of the pandemic, and like I think 2021 was like toward when the pandemic started lessening out and it started ending officially, like that fall of
Yeah.
that year. So I know it was kind of like a rough road. So tell us a little bit about how that transition was when you actually started, and then after the pandemic started, lessening up and things kind of got back to some form of normalcy. How was that process for you being the new leader of MAP?
Well, it was anyone that I think that volunteers and or leads in a volunteer capacity or leads at all or volunteers at all knows that there's plenty of self-doubt in those processes. Certainly when I came into being a leader in MAP, in 2020 we had sort of paused and gone completely virtual, and I was still sort of marketing director, moved into being vice president then. But we really were kind of at a standstill in 2021 because people were kind of fatigued with virtual meeting, but then also didn't really want to venture out in person either, right? So it's a tough spot to be in. Also, a huge period of uncertainty for people, personally, professionally. People didn't know what the job market was going to look like for them or what was safe to do. A lot of people relocated, and businesses as well tightened up their budgets a little bit. So it was a tricky time, but what's amazing about MAP and many organizations that we're partners with, like it was not by any means me at all as a person. MAP's board, like I mentioned, all volunteer, is full of people who are really passionate about our mission, which is to create space where anyone can bring their whole self to a professional LGBTQ plus community. And it was a tough go a little bit also because I didn't really have a great transition plan. Like there was a strong leadership ahead before me, and then we kind of had a leadership like two presidents before me that only lasted about 2 months each. So it was a kind of a rocky start, but I really leaned on the crew I was with, the board that just stood through. And what we also saw, you probably can relate to this, is that the line between personal and professional wasn't as strong as we thought during the pandemic. We saw how much people needed more than just professional connection, but they needed to kind of feel seen and kind of resonant based upon their personal circumstances, what they're going through mentally and emotionally and that sort of thing. And so ultimately what we're seeing now is that MAAP transformed quite a bit throughout the pandemic to emerge focused on professional networking, professional connection, but also really just enriching people as people. And so that community effect is huge. We're also really passionate that we create genuine space for people, and that part of our mission, like for anyone to bring their whole self. So that means a lot of different things. The intersectionality in our community means that if you are person of color or a different nationality or maybe a different religious background or gender identity and even age and bodiedness comes into play there. But our community is so multifaceted in Atlanta. It is certainly a diverse community. And what we've also seen, and we're all proud to see, is that now MAAP's events, you look around, it really does seem more like anyone can bring their whole self to that environment, and that's never a perfect achievement there. We're always working towards ways that people have adapted and like new ways that we can show up for them. But it has been a little bit of a roller coaster, but I think we're on really good footing. And I don't mean to ramble, but I will say our first event back in person was with Meak Productions. We had a brunch that was in 2021. And I think it was, we were highlighting shifts in, I think we're introducing MAAP essentially. So we had Josh, who was the amazing kind of longer running president before me, Josh Lorenz, who's still doing great work in the community throughout on film. But sort of passing the torch visually and publicly, since we really hadn't had a chance in about 9 months, I think, of 2021, we didn't have a chance to do that. So once again, Meak Productions being backbone of our organization for sure.
Wow, thank you so much. Like I said, it has been a wonderful honor to serve the organization, and also shout outs to the previous leaderships that actually made it possible for me to stay on this long, starting with the last president of AEN, which was Todd Harkerode, and then of course leading into the first president of the MAAP brand, of course, which was Joshua Lorenz McElroy. We want to take a brief commercial break. When we come back, we got more in store because we got to talk about what's in store for next week, which is, of course, Atlanta Pride Week, because Atlanta Pride Festival will be next weekend, not this coming weekend, but the next weekend. And we are going to be doing a combined effort, of course, Meak Productions, along with MAAP and the Out Georgia Business Alliance, a combined professional LGBT celebration in honor of Atlanta Pride. That's going to be October the what?
The 10th.
That's going to be Tuesday, October the 10th, and it's going to be live at Atlanta City Hall. It's going to be the second time that Out Georgia and MAAP is combining efforts, but it's going to be the first time that all three of us, one profit, two nonprofits, are actually going to come together to really focus on celebrating the entrepreneurial and professional segment of Atlanta's LGBTQ plus community in honor of Atlanta Pride. And so that's going to be very exciting. Yeah, it's going to be, I'm so excited. I can't wait to talk about it. So let's take this commercial break. When we come back, we have more in our 15th anniversary season of Meak Pro Media Special Edition News. Stay tuned. You're tuned in to Meak Productions syndicated shows. Don't go anywhere. We do have more in store.
Hello, everyone. This is Chris Lugo, Executive Director of the Out Georgia Business Alliance, Georgia's only chamber of commerce serving the LGBTQ plus community and our allies. Formerly known as the Atlanta Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce, Out Georgia serves the community by advocating for the most inclusive and equitable business environment, providing support and resources to fuel economic growth, and driving meaningful community connections and impact across the state of Georgia. For more information about membership and the legacy of our organization, please visit outgeorgia.org. Once again, that is outgeorgia.org. We look forward to serving and networking with you soon. Meak Productions is proud to be an official media partner for this organization.
Greetings, this is Jim Farmer, Festival Director of Out on Film. Since 1987, Out on Film has been dedicated to supporting the exhibition of LGBT film and video art forms with top-rated films, intimate settings, audience participation, and special celebrity events, which gives moviegoers and sponsors a way to connect and extend a 90-minute film into a lasting relationship. For more information about film submission, the history of the festival, and how to donate or sponsor, please visit outonfilm.org. That's outonfilm.org.
Meak Productions is proud to be an official media partner for this organization.
The time has come. Expand your network of LGBTQ plus welcoming tourism businesses with up to 1,000 people from over 40 different countries, ready to share their ideas, to discover new opportunities, to learn and to network. The 40th anniversary IGLTA Global Convention invites you to Puerto Rico. Let's celebrate diversity, community, and learn from the leading tourism experts. Join us to build connections and help us strengthen tourism globally, allowing LGBTQ plus people to travel safely. We are proud, we are inclusive, and we are ready to advance LGBTQ plus travel. Puerto Rico is waiting for you. Welcome to the 40th anniversary IGLTA Global Convention. Travel, learn, connect.
Productions is proud to be an official media partner for this organization. And welcome back to the last half of our special edition of Meak Pro Media Special Edition News, once again in our 15th anniversary season. Once again, this is Miko Evans back at you. And we still have our special guest, George Carlton, who's the president of the Metro Atlanta Association of Professionals. Of course, for more information about this legendary historic organization and how you can also be a member and also or a sponsor, please visit all of the information that's located at the bottom of your screen, www.maapatl.org. Once again, that's maapatl.org. Looking for networking, there is a map for that, all right? George, you're still with us?
I'm here. I like the plug. There's a map for that.
Yeah. And well, of course, we got to thank our previous president, Joshua Lorenz McElroy, for coming up with that slogan. He's the one that came up with that, you know. I remember when we first produced the commercial, the first radio commercial for MAP. And he was the voiceover for that. And he actually said that. That was just awesome. So that was a wonderful slogan, first slogan for MAP during that time and stuff. But I love what you all are doing with the new direction that MAAP is taking. Want to give a shout out to everything that you all are doing with your current partners. And I love the new locations that you all are actually having events at now, because it's actually giving us the opportunity to really explore more of the newness that's going on within our city. So kind of tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, it's important that we bounce around a little bit so that, you know, people get a chance to see the different spots in the city that they might not have otherwise been to. Well, we obviously we choose events, or maybe not obviously, but we do choose events based upon either LGBT owned or managed locations or businesses, and also, you know, allied businesses. And so, you know, there's places that probably folks have never heard of, but we really enjoy, like there's Red's Beer Garden that we really enjoy going to, which is kind of a spot you might drive by and never notice, but the owner there is a fierce ally of the LGBTQ plus community and a really strong proponent of that community, geographically that community. And you know, MSR, My Sister Room, has become a really strong partner for MAAP. It is more than just gay men that are part of our community at 100%. And the folks at My Sister's Room have been amazing supporters to, we've had networking events before, like drag karaoke nights, which is what better way to kick off the night than to do that? And like benefits for our members and that sort of thing. So they are phenomenal. And of course, we just like to jump around. And once again, partner organizations like yours, and Bill Kalen Marketing is a great partner of ours for we have big events throughout the year that are more like celebrations and some of those larger activations. And a lot of times those will be ones that we partner with Bill Kalen in, but those are typically in June. We have a big Pride party. We typically frame it as like a MAAP's Pride brunch, but they're all, you know, last year was a pool party, so not necessarily a brunch, but it was a good time. And we also do in September, we have every year an annual event that we launch. Well, we have a pre-party for Out on Film, and Out on Film, of course, just wrapped, but it's an amazing film festival telling LGBTQ plus stories, and has been, talk about an organization that has adapted with time. They totally switched gears during the pandemic to make it virtual. Now it's an amazing hybrid festival.
Yes. We
also have, which we'll talk about, some events for Atlanta Pride coming up. And then this December, we'll have an event for MAAP's holiday party that supports For the Kid and All of Us. That's an organization that I'm personally very invested in, because For the Kid started out, I think, just with friends raising toys for kids that otherwise wouldn't have had a great holiday season. So they helped those kids feel special. And now it's this massive event where many organizations contribute, many individuals contribute toys for local children. MAAP is one of those. So at our holiday party, the price of admission is always an unwrapped toy, so we can donate that. And we've every year are proud to donate a couple $1,000s worth of toys to For the Kid and All of Us.
That's one of the things that I love about you all, and because you all are always consistent when it comes to community initiatives and outreach and supporting other nonprofits. Because you all are not kind of just boxed in, like, certain nonprofits, just everything is just really just about them and they don't reach out. But you all have shown over the years that you all really want to connect with other nonprofits within the community. Okay, as y'all support us, how can we support you? And that's one of the things that I love about this organization. And I also want to remind those who are viewing us right now, we did just wrap Out on Film, and which I had the wonderful pleasure of, this is our 12th year supporting them as well, along with MAAP. And speaking of the hybrid, movies on the virtual end will still be available all the way to October the 8th, which is this coming Sunday. So you still have time for those people who missed any in-person events. Check out all of the films that were shown in person online all the way through October the 8th. And for more information, that information is located at the bottom of your screen, www.outonfilm.org. Shout out to both Festival Director Jim Farmer and our Board Chair Craig Hardesty. Let's talk about what's in store for Tuesday, October the 10th, 2023 at Atlanta City Hall.
That's going to be we're going to have a time that night, won't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is what we're calling it's not just MAAP's event, but MAAP, once again, Out Georgia Business Alliance and Meak Productions are coming together to host this. And it's an Atlanta Pride LGBTQ professional mixer. So what I'm excited about and what piqued my interest was the possibility of us having it at City Hall. What a great spot. I mean, oftentimes people don't just venture in and hang out in City Hall. So to have that event there means a lot. I mean, it's very exciting, but it also is really meaningful if we think to like the history of MAAP at least, and I'm sure it's the same for Out Georgia, and for people's experience being in this community in the early 90s in Atlanta. Like when MAAP started as the Atlanta Executive Network in 1992, membership was delivered in unmarked envelopes. At the time, like people could be fired. You can encounter a lot of negative attention and really rattled professionally and personally if folks knew that you were within the LGBTQ plus community. So people were not out, and meetings for MAAP were secretive, membership was secretive. So what a testament to how far we've come as a community, how far Atlanta has come in embracing the LGBTQ plus folks who are drivers of business, innovation, medicine, learning within all of Atlanta and Metro Atlanta. And so it's really, really cool. I'm going on a little bit, but it is a very exciting thing to be at City Hall. And thanks to support from council people like Keisha, who has been, remind me her last name.
Keisha Waits.
Keisha Waits, that's right. Has been a big partner. She was also, we should plug that Meak Productions has been honored with a day by the Atlanta City Council, and the council has embraced organizations, not just MAAP, but Meak Productions, others have become integral parts of its focus throughout the year. So we're excited. Tuesday is going to be 6 to 8:30, and that leads up on the 10th, it leads up to Pride, which starts that weekend. And on the 12th, just 2 days later, will be the Mayor's Pride reception. So it's a great kickoff to that.
Yeah, it is, because and like you said earlier, one of the biggest things about this particular event is that it's not in competition with the Mayor's Pride reception or the of course the VIP reception that Atlanta Pride always have every year at the Georgia Aquarium. This particular event is really historic because it's the first time that all professional members of both organizations and small business owners and entrepreneurs from both organizations are actually coming together to not just celebrate Pride, but to really focus on Atlanta's LGBTQ professional and entrepreneurial segment of our community. And that's something that was never really focused on. And so we wanted to make sure, for those of you who are viewing us right now, we wanted to make sure that that was the main focus, that we focus on the history of Atlanta's LGBTQ plus business community. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be very excited to really host this and to really tell you all that little history about that, to take you trip down memory lane. I'm sure some other community leaders are going to be there, such like, want to give a shout out to Dave Hayward for touching up our roots. The Georgia LGBTQ plus History Project, making sure that we reach out to them. And I know that during that particular time, especially during the Mayor's Pride reception, they always open up, with the LGBTQ art exhibit. Mm-hmm. And I know that's going to also be available during that time as well. Correct, George?
That's what I understand. Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of great things to see there. And also, I spoke earlier about that it's really important for MAAP that we create experiences that drive authentic connection for people. This will also be one of those. So we'll have a short program. Of course, we have to thank the folks at City Hall who host us and give some remarks. But what we're really excited about, too, is that this will be a structured networking event where we can highlight some of our local business and nonprofit leaders, but also drive some connection with folks that maybe wouldn't have otherwise met. And then facilitate that with some guided discussions so that it's easy for folks to be able to make connections that they can continue to build upon going forward. So it is a really cool event where we're celebrating Atlanta's LGBTQ plus professional community, but it's a true networking mixer. And in a very positive form of the word. You know, where networking means authentic connection, where people can show up as they are and be accepted and celebrated as they are, to build new relationships with folks that hopefully will enrich each other's lives going forward.
Yeah, and in closing, I know the biggest takeaway from this is when people leave there, not only will they leave with solid connections and possible business opportunities as well, but people will actually leave this event knowing the history of the professional and entrepreneurial side of Atlanta's LGBTQ plus history and movement here in our city and stuff and abroad. So once again, thank you for even suggesting that we even come together. First and foremost, shout out to Executive Director Chris Lugo and everybody at the executive team at the Out Georgia Business Alliance for even agreeing to come together once again. Another historic moment. Want to give a shout out to the office of Councilwoman Keisha Waits for even offering us to, have this event at City Hall and everything. Thanks to her contribution to that. And who else? I want to make sure we shout out everybody.
People. I mean, Councilwoman Keisha. Also, she's just like someone who is so invested, hands-on. Like she's in the weeds for our community. So I mean, it's so heartening for me, who I'm probably like most people who don't have the most interaction with folks that are in our city council, but like Keisha Waits and her office are really plugged in to advocate for our community. And also the impetus for this was that she came to a previous MAAP event that Meak Productions hosted and just enjoyed it so much that she offered to host this space and make this happen. So the proactiveness and engagement from the council is amazing too. So who else to thank? We'll have an amazing DJ Arlane. We'll have some great folks who are helping from some food and light bites perspective and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of people to thank, but I, on behalf of MAAP, our board and our members, certainly want to thank Meak Productions for helping make this a reality, and to Chris Lugo and team at Out Georgia. It's a thrill to be able to partner with them and with you, and hopefully, I'm sure there will be many more of these instances to come, so where our organizations can continue to connect and build upon this momentum.
Absolutely, and continue to make history together. For those people who are still interested in being a part of this historic event, all of that information is located at the bottom of your screen, or of course, you can go to www.maapatl.org. Once again, that's maapatl.org. Looking for networking? There is a map for that. So be sure to check us out. RSVP in advance, because this event is free, but you must RSVP because we need to give an account to who's coming. All right. George, don't make it so long for you to come back on our show, okay?
Well, you just invite me. I'll be there anytime. And I know it's always good talking with you. And thanks for having me on today. I'm really excited for it. Next Tuesday on the 10th to be at City Hall with you.
That's right. And don't forget, we have more in store with our shows. This is our 15th anniversary season. So until next time, we love you. We appreciate you. Very grateful to the universe for your existence and contribution to the human family. And we hope to see you real soon at one of our upcoming events. Happy Pride, happy LGBTQ History Month. Yes. Love you all. Take care. Thanks again, George.
Thanks, y'all.